Hey ladies and gentlemen, Chris of the Polish Geek, and welcome to another movie review. A review of the movie that I didn't expect to be any good. In fact, I wasn't interested in it at all, and that's Twisters. Like, I know it's technically a sequel to a movie called Twister that I never seen, and I'm vaguely even aware of it because I generally don't actually like disaster movies. They're just like nothing more than an empty spectacle, nothing else. And I very much like movies with actual good storytelling and, most importantly, likable characters. And disaster movies are most really not it. So yeah, that's why they're almost never my thing, especially. And the biggest trash of them is probably Roland Emmerich's 2012. Like, yeah, that movie is awful. Other than maybe watching it now all the way in 2024 is kinda hilarious retroactively, but other than that, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And then The Day After Tomorrow, also by Emmerich by the way, that movie I did kinda enjoy when I was younger, but time certainly also hasn't been kind to it. But enough rant about the disaster movies. Yep, the disaster movies genre is certainly not the type of genre I generally go to, because as I just said, they are nothing but empty spectacle. But then I've been hearing some good things about Twisters, and I especially heard that apparently movie theaters are packed. So I decided to go see it to see what the fuss is all about, and I'm really happy I did, because that movie was actually good. It actually fixed the problem that most disaster movies seem to have. I'm not saying there wasn't any spectacle, because there certainly was, and there was some bad CGI that I very easily could tell it was CGI. But why do I think this movie was really good and why I think it works? Because there was actually a well-told human story that you could relate to, and very well-written, likable characters. The lead character of Twisters is this woman named Kate, who's a scientist who is basically trying to invent this chemical compound that will basically destroy tornadoes from within. But then, in the very beginning of the movie, for training, she goes with her boyfriend and a few friends, but all of them actually die in the tornado, and as a result, Kate loses her confidence, and as a result, she doesn't really want to do it anymore, because she just has lost all confidence. And I think this is a perfect way to establish her character and her motivation, as well as her struggles. This is a perfect way to just start a story, because then she gets an opportunity to save other people from the tornado, but because she still has this like survivor's guilt, and she feels very guilty about the fact that her friends just died in the tornado, but ultimately she decides that she will try to save those people anyway. And together with Kate, there is also one of her friends who also survived the tornado together with Kate, like 5 years ago at the beginning of the movie. His name was like Harvey, JV, don't know how to pronounce his name exactly, let's say JV. And then also this YouTuber Tyler Owens. And Kate, Tyler Owens, and this guy JV, they all team up to save the people from the small town from the tornado. And now that they decide to save the people from the tornado, I can't say the story is particularly groundbreaking or innovative, but what very much makes up for it is really what for me was always the most important thing in a good story, which is really likable and relatable characters. And I think Twisters has exactly that. Like Kate, who's the lead, she's by far my favorite character in the whole movie, and I think she's a wonderful lead, and whoever portrays her does a phenomenal job. But I do also like that JV and Tyler also get very much their own roles to shine, because now that after watching Twisters, that's another thing that I noticed is very problematic with modern movies. In addition to inserting identity politics and, worst of all, remaking plenty of stuff that doesn't really need to be remade instead of coming up with original ideas. Another problem that I also notice with modern movies is that there is basically just like a hero lead character, often not even very likable, and all the other characters serve more like just nothing more than a filler and nothing else. But thankfully in Twisters, all the secondary characters also very much get their own chance to shine, and I'm really happy about that, because if you look at some of my favorite franchises of all time, like The Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, the original trilogy of course, not the new trash, or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you see that even though there very much is a main character, but every character gets to do something to shine. There is teamwork. And I really appreciate that Twisters has done exactly that. And every character gets something to do. Overall, I think Twisters is very much an example of a disaster movie done right. Because while there is some spectacle, ultimately it mostly focuses actually on the character development, and this is why I think the movie very well works, and while I think it's actually a very good movie, and I was really surprised of how much I enjoyed this disaster movie, although I will have this news that it was a little bit tough making this video because my 5-year-old, actually next month she's turning 6, but my niece is actually here with me in the room because, newsflash, she insisted on seeing how I make a YouTube video because she really wanted to see me, so I allowed her to look at it. So yes, she's in the room, she's probably right there. She's actually laughing now because I'm talking about her, so she's actually laughing, but yes, she's literally looking at me how I'm doing this video. So I guess shout out to Anya because yes, she's here looking how I'm making this video. But ultimately, Twisters, I think, is a disaster movie done right, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed this movie, but I did. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out this video. Press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I will talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you then. Bye!